Empires don't collapse because they lose battles. They collapse because they lose systems. Rome didn't become powerful because of soldiers alone. It became powerful because it mastered money, taxation, infrastructure, and long-term control. And the man who engineered it was Augustus Caesar, the first emperor of Rome, the architect of the world's first global financial system. Rome before Augustus. Before Augustus, Rome was unstable. Civil wars drained resources. Generals fought for power, not order. Armies were loyal to commanders, not the state. Every victory created another rival. Corruption weakened trust. Officials abused authority. Governors treated provinces like personal businesses. Taxes disappeared before reaching Rome. Power changed hands violently. Assassinations were common. Fear replaced law. Short-term survival mattered more than long-term planning. Money was inconsistent. Coins varied in value. Confidence in currency declined. Trade slowed. Rome had conquered territory, but it couldn't manage it. This is where most empires fail. Expansion without structure creates chaos, not control. Rome was winning battles, but losing stability. Augustus understood one truth. Augustus knew something critical that most leaders ignore. You cannot rule people you cannot account for, and you cannot sustain power without predictable revenue. Chaos might win loyalty briefly, but stability builds empires. Augustus saw that fear fades, but systems endure. So instead of expanding blindly, he focused on organization, on records, on accountability, on rules that worked every day, not just during emergencies. Augustus didn't rule like a general chasing glory. He ruled like an administrator building continuity. He measured population, tracked land, standardized obligations. Power became calculated, not emotional. That shift changed Rome forever. The birth of Roman financial order. Augustus standardized money. He stabilized coinage, controlled minting, eliminated regional inconsistency, and restored confidence. For the first time, Roman currency meant the same thing from Spain to Syria. People trusted the money they were paid with. Merchants trusted transactions. Soldiers trusted wages. Trade expanded rapidly. Markets stabilized. Long-distance commerce became viable. Trust accelerated commerce because trust reduces risk, and reduced risk multiplies economic activity. This was not accidental. It was design. Money became a tool of governance, not just exchange. By controlling currency, Augustus unified the empire economically before unifying it politically. The tax system that funded an empire. Augustus restructured taxation from chaos into order. Taxes were no longer random or violently collected. They were calculated, measured, and predictable. Land taxes funded stability. Trade taxes captured growth. Provincial contributions reflected capacity, not punishment. Local governments collected revenue, but answered directly to Rome. This removed private abuse and reduced corruption dramatically. Officials were monitored. Records were kept. Revenue was tracked. Rome became predictable. And predictability attracts wealth. Merchants invested confidently. Businesses expanded. Citizens planned long-term. The empire stopped surviving year to year and started compounding power. Taxes didn't just fund Rome, they disciplined it. Infrastructure as economic power. Augustus invested heavily in infrastructure because infrastructure is control made physical. Roads connected provinces. Trade routes stabilized. Ports reduced shipping time. Cities followed standardized layouts. This wasn't generosity. It was strategy. Infrastructure increased trade volume by reducing friction. It improved tax efficiency by speeding collection. It increased military response speed by compressing distance. Every road led to Rome because Rome designed it that way. Movement creates markets. Markets create wealth. Infrastructure is invisible power because it shapes behavior without force. Control movement, and you control the empire's pulse. The Pax Romana Augustus created the Pax Romana. 2 centuries of relative peace. Peace changed everything. Trade flourished because risk declined. Businesses grew because violence retreated. Wealth compounded because capital stayed intact. War destroys capital. Peace multiplies it. Markets need calm to breathe. Commerce needs trust to function. The Pax Romana turned Rome from a conquering state into a sustaining one. This wasn't weakness. It was dominance through stability. This was Augustus's greatest achievement. Not conquest, but continuity. Control without tyranny. Augustus avoided the optics of dictatorship. He kept the Senate, respected traditions, maintained republican language, shared symbolic authority. Outwardly, Rome looked familiar. Internally, control was precise. Financial power remained centralized. Budgets flowed upward. Decisions flowed downward. This balance created stability. People didn't feel oppressed. They felt protected. They felt secure. Security reduces resistance. Stability encourages cooperation, and cooperation is fertile ground for prosperity. Augustus understood that people accept control when it arrives disguised as order. Why Augustus succeeded where others failed. Augustus didn't rely on charisma. He didn't rule through fear alone. He didn't depend on constant victories to stay in power. He relied on systems. Leaders come and go. Strong personalities fade, but systems endure because they function without emotion. Rome thrived because it worked every day, even when Augustus was absent. Taxes were collected. Roads were maintained. Money retained value. Administration continued. Rivals ruled through loyalty and force. Augustus ruled through structure. That is why his power lasted, and why Rome stabilized under him, while others collapsed after brief success. The long-term impact. Rome's financial system outlived Augustus by centuries. European taxation models borrowed Roman logic. Modern bureaucracy inherited Roman structure. Government budgets, census systems, public administration, all trace roots back to Rome. Augustus didn't just solve problems for his lifetime. He created templates others reused long after his death. Empires copied Rome because Rome worked. Augustus didn't simply rule an empire. He designed one that could operate without him. That is the true mark of lasting power. The beginning of decline. Rome didn't collapse overnight. The fall came slowly. Later, emperors abused the system Augustus built. Currency was debased to fund excess. Taxes increased beyond reason. Spending went unchecked. Short-term survival replaced long-term stability. The structure weakened piece by piece. Systems protect wealth only when respected. Once abused, they accelerate collapse. Rome didn't fall because Augustus failed. It fell because his systems were ignored, distorted, and eventually broken. Structure preserves empires. Abuse destroys them. Modern parallels modern governments still use: central banks, standardized currencies, taxation systems, corporations build, logistics networks, payment infrastructure, supply chains. Augustus pioneered the model. 3 wealth laws from Augustus Caesar Wealth Law. 1. Stability creates prosperity. Money flows where rules are predictable. Wealth Law 2. Infrastructure is hidden power control movement, and you control markets. Wealth Law 3. Systems outlive leaders, build frameworks, not personalities. Final thought. Augustus Caesar proved something timeless. Empires don't survive on ambition alone. They survive on structure. If you want to understand how wealth scales across nations, subscribe to Kings, Empires, and Billionaires. Because behind every great empire is a financial system quietly doing the work.